What's up? So good to be with you guys. Today I'm going to be sharing another encouragement. And this is going to be a verse that has been very close to my heart. And it comes from the passage of James chapter 1. We're going to be reading through verses 2 through 6. Count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all, without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, that is driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. So there's a lot we can take from this. Personally, God is speaking to me that count it all joy when you face many trials. And so this is very hard to do, very hard in my life specifically. And I'm sure in many of your lives, this has been a struggle. And it's very hard to count it all joy, because when we put in place our joy in what we're going through, it's going to be really hard to get through that. And so what we need to do is we need to count it all joy, because joy comes not from what we're going through. It's not through our circumstances, but it is in the one who is firm, who is steadfast and faithful through everything. And so the joy of the Lord is our strength through those many trials. And it also says in verse 5, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously. And so the true wisdom only comes from God. And so through those trials, the thing that gets us through it is the Lord. The Lord gives us wisdom, and he allows us, he's inviting us in to ask him, hey, look, I know what you're going through. I see what you're going through. And I just want to be with you through it all. And so we're not alone when we're going through these trials. He's really encouraging us through these verses that we can go to him boldly. We can go to the throne of grace boldly. But yeah, the Lord is just inviting us in, saying, look, I know what you're going through. But ultimately, we need to change our perspective, because I think a lot of us, when it comes to our trials, is we think it's such a big mountain. And I think it's just such a mental challenge that we go through, because we think that our trial we go through is super huge, but we need to change our perspective, that God is so much bigger than any of our problems. We need to stop telling our God how big our problems are, but we need to tell our problems how big our God is. And so we need to have that perspective change of, look, God, you deserve the glory no matter what I'm going through. And you're so much bigger than whatever I'm going through. It doesn't matter what you guys are facing. I don't know what you guys are going through today. But I just want to encourage you guys that God is over everything. He is over all. He sees what you're going through, and he sees your struggle. So you can come to him honestly, and really bring him what struggle you're going through. And it says later in that verse, in this passage in verse 12, that blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. So this is really encouraging. It says, blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. And so when we hold to the hope that is Jesus through our trials, we don't have to give up. We don't have to give up hope when our trials are feeling fiery, when the walls around us are closing in. We can still focus on the Lord, the one who is faithful through it all. And it says later in that verse, we will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him. So we can hold fast to this truth that the Lord loves us so much, and he's giving us the crown of life, which he promises us. And so this testing is not useless. It's shaping us to become closer to God through everything. And the Lord puts these trials in our life not to just throw us out there and say, okay, I mean, you're going to go through this and I'm just going to leave you alone, right? He doesn't say that. He says, whatever trial that you're going through, I put that in there for a reason. So the Lord is intentional through everything he does. He's purposeful, he is caring, he is loving. And so a lot of times in my life, I've seen that without the trial, I wouldn't have grown as much as I would with God, specifically the last few years with lust. I'm sure many of you out there have struggled with that as well. And he's used many times that I've fallen and many times that I've stood firm in that temptation. He used that for his glory. And he's really used just every single moment, every single temptation, whether I've fallen or whether I've gotten back up and stood firm in that moment. He's really shaped my faith and really grown me closer to him and drawn me to worship him because he's faithful and he's loving through it all. So yeah, I hope this encourages you guys. In whatever way the Lord is speaking to you guys, I pray that this encourages you guys through whatever you're walking through in life. Just know that God is with you. Just know that you're not alone. I encourage you guys to also tap into people around you that are strong Christians, that are mentors in your life, and just reach out. Just one simple text or call to another person can really change your perspective, can really change and grow your faith. So I pray this is a blessing to you guys, and I pray that you continue to walk on your journey in faith. Whatever you're going through, the Lord is there. And let me know any prayer requests you guys have in the comments. I will definitely be praying for you guys. All right, I hope you guys have a blessed day.